Hey guys, what's going on? Underground Geek here. And so, I don't know if a lot of you are reading this. I haven't heard a lot about it. Yeah, I've heard some about it, but then it quickly kind of goes away and everybody stops talking about it. I think because there's so many Batman books. But what sucks is there's so many Batman books, but 5 out of 6 of them are good. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do in that situation? And I know that a lot of you people have said that you want more of these kind of videos, so I thought I'd do one real quick for you. I just read this book and I immediately had to talk about it. At first, I did not think I was going to like this book because they were changing the Batman story, and I thought that he was going to grow up to be like a vigilante killer and basically just wear a Batman outfit. And I was like, I'm not all about that. So when I got into this, though, I was so amazed. And I really like this book because, it's a hard book, or it's not really a hard book, but it's almost like a trade paperback. And look at the back. I like this. It says, "Was I all right?" I mean, I just like this, the little detail that they did to this book. So basically, in the first book, we had a boy whose name was Bruce Wainwright, very close to Bruce Wayne, so therefore he was a huge Batman fan. He goes out trick-or-treating one night, and when he's going back home with his parents, they come back home and somebody is robbing the place. Multiple assailants are robbing the place. They weren't supposed to be back early. They kill the parents and even shoot him, but he survives. So with all this trauma going on, he goes to live with his uncle. His uncle can't have him, so he puts him in a boys' home. Basically, he's an orphan like Bruce Wayne. And then this Batman shows up. This Batman creature shows up. This creature of the night shows up and starts taking vigilante justice out, finding out who his parents' killers are, all that good stuff. And so now we jump forward and he's a man. He's not really a man. He's in his very early 20s, but still, he was like 9 or 10 when this happened, and now we jump forward like 15 years. But so let's get into this book and talk about it a little bit. And, I didn't think I was going to like this art style. I'm trying to fix the glare here. Now, a lot of people don't like Kurt Busiek as a writer or as a person. They like him as a writer, just not as a person. But I'm going to give him a pass because I really like this story. Arts, colors, and cover is by Joe Paul Leon. You know that's a good thing. When you look at something and you like it, and then you look and the artist does the art, colors, and the cover, you know you're in for a good time. So we start out here again like the first issue. We've got some classic Batman art there from the old comic books. And then we jump forward to where Bruce is now. I'm trying to do this where I can show you. But basically Bruce gets around, okay? He owns his own business. He's very successful. He has Wainwright Investments. And so he's also going to school for his master's. And women kind of flock to him. Once they find out who he is, he pretty much gets any girl he wants. About like Bruce Wayne. And then at night, we have the Bat Creature showing up. And I love this Bat Creature. It's so cool. The fact that they're able to draw the Bat face, the Bat eyes, so to speak, but still have the Batman silhouette is very cool to me. It's very Nightmare Batman-ish to me. So as we get further into the story, what he likes to do is he likes to send Batman out to do vigilante work, and then he likes to try to find it in the newspaper the next day. But for whatever reason, it's hard for him to find out, about it. They keep covering up, like we had vampires here, and he's like, why are they hiding this stuff? And so in the meantime, whenever the police can't close a case, what he'll do is he'll go get the evidence and then have the Batman put it on their desk, as to help them solve the crime, so to speak. Flies off there. And so as we get further into this, Bruce is starting to become very successful. Things keep just working out for him. A tanker crashes, which happens to be another company that he was against, so therefore they made a bunch of money. Stuff like this just keeps happening again and again. So as we go further in the story, his uncle, which works for him, or works above him now, tries to console him, tries to ask him what's going on, and he's very, withdrawn. And I like the way they draw him because, to me, he looks like Dick Grayson. So that's kind of cool. And they draw his uncle, quote unquote, Alfred, a lot like Alfred. So it's fun. It all ties together. There's a policeman named Gordon, so he calls him Commissioner Gordon. And like I said before, Bruce gets around. He gets a lot of ladies. He's you know, about every night he's got him a different woman. He's trying to cover up that hurt. So then we get around to him meeting the Batman again. The Batman manifests. I like how the Batman manifests because he just shows up. Boom, he's there. Are you safe? Yes, I'm safe. Good. And he says he does that every night. He checks with him to make sure he is safe, and then he goes out to solve crime. He says there's so much crime to solve. So he worries about the Batman, but at the same time he knows that he is Batman. There's no way, you know, nothing ever is going to happen to him. And there's this funny part about him trying to tell a girl about his Batman problem, and then she takes it as a sex innuendo and wants to dress up as Robin, which I thought was kind of weird. And then as we get further along, we find out that his uncle is gay, and they bring about how it was hard in the 60s for gay people. There's a lot of scrutinizing going on. And at first I was like, oh my God, how many times we got to hear about gay people? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's 27. It's current year, people. It's current year. But, you know, this is okay because it's in the 60s. It's talking about it, but at the same time, I feel like it didn't really need to be brought up. But it fits into the story because his uncle feels very alienated, just like Bruce feels alienated. So Bruce graduates. Everything's still going great for him. He wants to do something new. You know, he's got new ideas. He says, how can I help somebody? He wants to start an orphanage. There was a thing in the comic books called, I think, Victims Incorporated or something, and he wants to do the same thing after Batman. He wants to start with one kid, helping that kid, and then as it goes, maybe blossom into something else. And he already has a kid in mind, and her name is Robin. And I was like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. And he said, you know, I always try to find, if I find a coincidence like that, I always try to use it. So he helps the Robin girl, puts her in school, and then that's all for now. And then later we learn more about Batman solving crimes. He goes to talk with everybody more about business opportunities, and then he finds a huge business opportunity: modems. This is the 60s. Computers are skyrocketing into big business. He wants to get involved in modems, and there's a man who has a proposal. But as he's talking to his uncle brings up the fact that the man is black. And in the 60s, it would make it hard for that man to get business because everything that he did would be scrutinized because he's black, which would then make it harder for them. And I was like, oh, so you jumped from gay, now we're talking about black people. But, you know, like I said, it is the 60s and it fits, and they only talk about it for one page and then we're moving on. So I kind of like that. But they dwell on the uncle being gay for a while, but they do it in a way that's tasteful, which is unlike Marvel, where the guy's whole personality is gay. This is just, that's part of his life. So I like that. Marvel needs to take notes. So anyway, we get to this big ball. Everyone's having fun. And then in slips some information that he gets. We have more investigating. We cut to Batman now. And in the meantime, Bruce is getting very obsessive with Robin. Not so much in a creepy way. He's getting obsessed with her parents getting killed in the same way that his parents got killed. So he sends Batman out to investigate what's happening. He's trying to find who killed her parents. This goes on and on. It takes forever because, like he said, it's so big, where do you start? And so as this goes on, with the page here, it's not going very well. You know, he's paying Gordon off for information. The cop that I talked about earlier, he's paying him off for information, which is a crime. And so as he gets the file folder, he finds out that, you know, her parents were gunned down. So now he's going to have the Batman investigate that. He does investigate it, and he figures out that there was gangsters pretty much bullying people out of their businesses, and that girl's parents wouldn't sell, so therefore they got rid of them. So he goes to the rest of them that did sell to ask for information. and he asks for it very firmly. Then he goes to the gangsters. We get a couple of awesome scenes here. I like the old school sound effects. The Batman disappears, he reappears, and goes to whooping that tail. And so at that point, I think I lost my place. I hate these books like this because it's very hard to flip them when they have the spine on them. So yeah, he gets information. Look at that, it's pretty cool right there. I like that. He's beating them up, they're bloody, and then he flies off. He gets some information out of them. And so then at that point, we're cutting back to the party. This is going on at the same time that he's at the ball. And then as he gives a speech, then he gets down and there is Robin. Robin has asked to come to the party because she wants to thank Bruce. And she tells Bruce that she wants to do what he's doing. She wants to help people. And so that's great. But then up slips this guy right here. He's a police officer, and he tells Wayne that he knows that one of the guys that got put away, the information on him was phony. And he says, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Yeah, it took us a while to straighten it out, but we're going to be talking to you very soon about this phony evidence and all this other stuff going on." And so that gets him really to thinking. He says, "I saw the police discover the drugs. It can't have been planted. It can't have been. Unless..." So then he calls the Batman, and the Batman says, "Are you safe?" And he says, "Show me." So then at that point, he starts seeing it through the Batman's eyes for real. The Batman has been hiding stuff from him. He's been planting evidence all along. He caused the tanker accident. He caused everything to happen a certain way. And it really upsets Bruce to the point to where his whole life is in question now. And he even had Robin's parents killed. All this, he says, keep you safe, make it right, make it fair. And he says, go away, go away. And so then the Batman disappears, but the damage is already done. And it took him a while, but he has learned his lesson. He says, the world that we can't just make it into what we want it to be. Can't just wish it different. He said I'd learn. And he's talking about Alfred, his uncle. And so the next issue is Crusader. And it makes you wonder what's going to happen. Is this Batman going to turn against him? Is he going to show up and start doing things his way? You know, he had him under control before. But now this changes everything. What if he tries to kill Bruce? What if he tries to kill Robin? What if he tries to kill his family? You never know what's going to happen. Bruce is questioning everything because Bruce is thinking, am I a bad person? I made this happen. I brought this Batman from my imagination, and now it's hurting people, killing people, you know? And it was hiding it from me all along. So what do I do? So this is a really, really good book. You really need to check it out. You could wait. I think it's 6 issues. You could wait and get the trade paperback when it's all done. But, I mean, it's worth it if you want to go buy and get it. It was the same price as the regular comic for me because the LCS doesn't know what good comics are. So, yeah, I mean, definitely check it out. I know there's 5 or 6 different Batman stories, but this is awesome, guys. Batman Creature of the Night, book number 2. Had to tell you guys about it. This could be a movie. This could be a movie. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I hope you like the art. I hope you like the story.